I want to tell you something. You were honest and followed the rules. You waited your turn patiently. You tried to be a good person. Now look around you. Those with less talent than you are ahead of you. Those who put in less effort are earning more. Even though you did everything right, the world doesn't reward it. That feeling rising inside you, that anger and disappointment, keeps telling you, I must be misunderstanding something. You're absolutely right. You are misunderstanding something, but it's not your fault. You learned the rules of the wrong game. At school they told you, be honest, be patient. What you deserve will come eventually. In your family they said, be a good person, let people like you. And you believed it, because you wanted to believe it, because it was a pleasant story. But now you're in adulthood, and that story is being shaken a little more every day. This video is not made to comfort you. It's made to wake you up. First, you need to understand this. When you hear this information, you may feel uncomfortable. You may even get angry. You may think, this is too pessimistic. Recognize that feeling as the voice of the moral conditioning that has been implanted in you since childhood. Understand it and set it aside, because here we are talking about realities, not fairy tales. If you're ready, let's begin. Law 1. Selective silence. Many people are disturbed by silence. When there is a gap, they speak to cope with it. They explain themselves, defend themselves, or share their opinions. Every time they speak, they expose their thoughts to the other person. If someone is predictable, that person can be controlled. Dark intelligence begins with this question: why am I speaking right now? Is it to be approved of, to be validated by others, or to achieve a goal? What Machiavelli knew was this: the person who speaks the least in the room holds the most power, because information is valuable. When you speak, you spend that value. When you listen, you accumulate it. Try this. At your next meeting, argument, or social setting, try speaking less. Wait and observe. Watch the void created by silence. People will try to fill it. They will reveal their intentions, expose their weaknesses, try to figure out how they can influence you, and you will simply observe. Drop your defense mechanisms. Don't struggle to provide explanations. Don't clearly state your position. Be mysterious. When people face someone whose strategy cannot be mapped, they automatically become more cautious, more careful, and begin to show more respect. Silence is not merely the absence of noise, it is the presence of control. Law 2. Strategic immorality. You will feel resistance here. You were taught to divide events into good/bad, right/wrong, fair/unfair. These distinctions are like chains. This moral framework restricts you, because real life operates differently. Machiavelli was not an evil person. He was simply someone who could see reality. He noticed the gap between how we want people to behave and how they actually behave, and he wrote about it honestly. When examining an engine, you don't ask, is this engine evil? Instead you ask, does this engine work or not? If it doesn't work, why? Which part is broken? How can I fix or replace it? You should think the same way. If someone betrays you, don't waste time on anger. Instead of asking, why did they do this, ask, how does this make me feel, and what should I do next? Strategic immorality is not being immoral. It is not allowing morality to prevent you from facing reality. A powerless good person is not truly virtuous. They're simply someone waiting to become a victim. Law 3. Controlled vulnerability. Dark intelligence is not a cold, emotionless machine that cannot connect. That is a beginner-level approach. Truly effective people understand this. If you appear too perfect and untouchable, people will aim to bring you down. Just because you are human, they can influence you. So show them a weakness, but choose it yourself. Maybe you admit you're weak with technology. Maybe you share an embarrassing moment from your past. Maybe you ask for help with something trivial. This activates the Ben Franklin effect. When people help you or see your flaws, they lower their defenses. They think, they're one of us. Perfection is not the goal here. This is where you want to be. While you connect through a manufactured weakness, you keep your real strengths, real plans, and real vulnerabilities hidden. Don't expose your throat, but occasionally show a wound on your arm. This makes them feel safe. And a rival who feels safe is easier to defeat. Law 4, the mirror law. Everyone is the main character of their own life story. Everyone is in love with their own reflection. The mistake you make is trying to become a star in their story, trying to show them how smart, successful, and interesting you are. Stop. This method doesn't work. Dark intelligence teaches this. Instead of trying to surpass them, become their mirror. If they are angry, acknowledge their anger. If they are excited, reflect their energy. Use their words. Imitate their behavior. When someone sees themselves reflected in you, a powerful psychological effect occurs. They don't see you. They see themselves. And because they love themselves, they love you too. This is not deception. This is intelligence gathering. While mirroring, you observe. You learn their triggers. You understand their values. You discover their weak points. While they are busy with their reflection, you quietly rearrange the pieces on the board. A mirror has no ego. It only reflects. Law 5. Independence from outcome. The root of anxiety is dependence on outcomes. You want that job. You want that relationship. You want that respect. You focus so intensely on what you want that everyone can feel your need. You send signals of scarcity. And according to the laws of power, scarcity repels. People move away from those who need. They gather around those who can survive without. You must develop radical independence from outcomes. This means thinking like this: I will work for it. I will plan for it. But if I fail, I remain strong anyway. This is not giving up. It is the strongest possible move. If you are ready to walk away from the negotiation table, you hold all the power. If you are willing to lose the relationship, you set the standards. Machiavelli knew this. Fear of loss makes you dependent. If your boss senses you're afraid of losing your job, control is no longer in your hands. If your partner realizes you fear being alone, they gain influence over you. Accept the worst-case scenario in your mind. Imagine losing everything. Make peace with it. Realize that you can survive. When fear of loss disappears, you become dangerous and untouchable. Law 6. The useful enemy. Most people want to maintain good relationships with everyone. They avoid conflict. This is a biological misunderstanding. Conflict is a development zone for the mind. Without resistance, thinking becomes dull. Machiavelli's prince warned about this. Don't just be ready for war. Study it constantly. Dark intelligence sees the benefit of an enemy. An enemy sharpens you. An enemy focuses your attention. An enemy reveals your weak points so you can fix them. Look back. Tesla needed Edison. Ali needed Fraser. Friction creates the spark of fire. Don't pity those who try to belittle you. Use them to your advantage. Turn hatred into discipline. Turn doubt into proof of determination. And remember, creating a common enemy is the fastest way to unite people. If you want to unify a group, a team, or a movement, don't inject love. Define a shared threat. Don't fear the enemy. Use them for your benefit. Choose an enemy worthy of your potential, and let the struggle elevate you. Law 7. The Persona Law. You see yourself as a single individual. You believe in being authentic. This is a limitation. You are different with your mother, different with your boss, and different again with your rival. Dark intelligence lies in consciously managing these faces. Being authentic is often an excuse for lack of self-discipline. Someone who says, "This is just how I am," can ruin a dinner with their anger. That is not authenticity. It is childishness. Think of your personality as a tool. Entering a risky meeting, put on your leadership mask. Calm, decisive, unshakable. With your family, wear a protective mask. Warm, attentive, caring. This is not lying. This is calibration. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw. You wouldn't use a screwdriver to drive a nail. So why approach every situation with the same personality? Be like a lion, strong and intimidating. Be like a fox, clever and thoughtful. If you are only a lion, you fall into traps. If you are only a fox, you become prey for wolves. Flexibility is the key to survival. Be like water. Take the shape of the container you enter. When the container breaks, you flow away. You don't shatter. Law 8. Necessary skepticism. Trust but verify. No, that's too soft. Verify first, then allow temporary trust. A pure mind projects its goodness outward. I wouldn't lie to them, so they won't lie to me. This belief is the cause of great disappointments. Dark intelligence accepts a painful truth. Everyone acts in their own interest. Even behaviors that look like sacrifice often come from a desire to feel good about oneself. The goal is not to harm you, but to make you more cautious. Pay attention to actions, not words. Words are worthless. Words are used for manipulation. Actions are the only indicators of truth. When someone offers you a great opportunity, ask, what do they gain? When someone praises you excessively, think, why are they distracting me? Test loyalty before granting trust. Give people small amounts of power and observe how they use it. Watch carefully before handing over the kingdom. Being pleasantly surprised by loyalty is better than being destroyed by betrayal. Law 9. The Shadow Law. We end with the deepest law. Carl Jung and Machiavelli lived in different eras, but they agreed on this. You must accept the darkness within yourself. Society teaches you to be harmless, polite, to suppress anger, and hide desire for power. But a harmless person is not virtuous. They are simply powerless. They cannot do good because they lack the power to stop evil. Dark intelligence is realizing that you are capable of terrible things. You have the potential for cruelty. You have the ability to manipulate. Stop denying it. Own it. Why? Because if you don't know your own darkness, you won't recognize it in others. You will remain innocent. And worse, if you suppress your shadow, it will control you. It will emerge as passive aggression, resentment, or self-sabotage. You must bring the monster into the light, see it, and say, I know you, I acknowledge you. When you are capable of destroying someone but choose not to, that is true virtue. That is power under control. Machiavelli's ideal leader was not a saint. He was someone who knew how to use dark means for good ends. You need that dark side, that darkness, that look in the eyes that says, I am at peace with myself, not out of necessity, but by choice. When you accept your shadow, you become whole. You stop fearing the darkness of the world because you have mastered the darkness within. These 9 laws are not a checklist, they are a filter. From now on, when you enter a room, you will notice different things. You will feel the echo of silence. You will see the mirrors people hold. You will see lions and foxes. You are no longer ordinary in the war of minds. But with this power comes a burden, the burden of loneliness. When you awaken, you will see how many people behind you are still asleep. Some will think you have changed. They may think you have become colder and quieter. Let them think that. You are shedding the skin of victimhood. You are leaving behind the need for approval. You are stepping into the world of the different. The question is not whether these laws work. History shows that they do. The question is, do you have the courage to apply them? Many people will listen to these words, nod their heads, and return to their old lives, back to complaining, back to hoping the world will become fairer. But you are still here. You are listening to the silence.